Yeah, good morning everyone. Today I would like to discuss about the that what are the major items in the building and its cost estimation. So if you see that here in this slide, there is a totally 11 or 12 major items are there. So before going for a construction, actually this is going to be happen because of maybe loan sake or whatever idea oriented. So likewise we need the particular information. You want to finish the building very effectively and quickly. So likewise there is a first one is in a site preparation. If you see that site preparation, so that means if you take any land, so you want to start anything, but there isn't a lot of garbages and vegetation which is existed, so that we want to remove all those things, we want to clean. So that comes under a site preparation. Even though if it is in a, maybe it is having the trenches, you want to fill the trenches with maybe soil, and if it is needed an excavation, and then you can go for an excavation also. And then if you see that there is an next one is in a foundation. In this foundation work there is a footings are there. Actually the footings are is constructed with the concrete, actually concrete masonry. And then concrete means there is an RCC, reinforced concrete is there. So that here we want to calculate the quantity of the concrete, and then we want to calculate the quantity of the reinforcement, and then what is an amount is required for the earthwork excavation. And then finally we see that plans and all those things that is comes under. That means if you want to estimate the cost of the foundation work, so we need to calculate the cost of the reinforcement, and we need to calculate the cost of the concrete, and then we need to calculate the cost of the labor and machineries is required for the to do the work. And also that earthwork excavation also is going to be existed in the case of the foundation. So everything, that means the cost of the foundation work is equal to cost of the concrete required, and cost of the reinforcement, cost of the soil excavation, plus labor cost and machinery cost to work on it. Likewise we are going for estimation. And if we see that there is a superstructure, then if we see that superstructure, so there is in the superstructure what is there, there is an imaginary works are there. So in the imaginary works columns are there, beams are there, slabs are there, walls are there. So that we are going to be work on it. If it is in a column, is in a RCC, and if it is in a beam, it is in a RCC, and slabs also RCC. But the walls are is going to be constructed with either clay bricks or flash bricks, or otherwise the there is in a lightweight bricks. Sometimes now new technology is there, there is a thin wall technology. So we are also going to be depending upon the thin wall technology. And then finally you got an superstructure work. Therefore the cost of the superstructure also going to be counted. And then we see that walls related masonry works, so there is an brick masonry is there, stone masonry is there. So likewise we are going for calculating the number of bricks, and then calculating the number of stones are required, and the cost of bricks, and then cost of labor plus cost of thing. And in the imaginary also we had a motor, so that that motor also going to be estimated here, and so that we are calculating the quantity of it. And then if you see that roofing, so whenever the people don't have any money to go on with that, there is an RCC slabs, then they are going to be preferred with the roofs. Actually roofs with the sheets, like China sheets are there, or concrete sheets are there. It's a very cheap actually, but they're less durability when compared to. So that at that moment we are going to be see this kind of roofing materials, and then we are calculating the roofing material cost and labor cost to install it, and the transportation charges is going to be included. And then finally we are calculating the cost of it. And then if you see that there is a finishing works, so in this finishing works, the next one is a plastering is there. So plastering and painting, and there is a flooring and ceiling works are there. So these are all called finishing works. If for example if you take the plastering works, so what is the material we are going to use the plastering, it's in a mortar. So in the case of the mortar we are calculating the mortar quantity, and then after calculating the mortar quantity, just we are adding the cost of the material required to prepare the mortar quantity, plus the cost of the labor. So that similarly there is a painting also. And then flooring is, I want to explain the flooring very well here. For example, if you want to calculate the cost of the flooring, so first we need to measure the area of the rooms where the flooring we need to install, so that including the scutters and any dias are there, we need to calculate everything, each and everything very accurately. And then finally what is happened, we are going for that after calculation, we need to take in a one size. So maybe for example flooring, you want to install a tiles, then what is the dimensions of the tile. So then I want to take the dimension of tile is equal to 2 into 2, that is equal to 4 feet square. So that 4 feet square, then the total area in terms of feet square only, so that you can divide the total area divided by one one tile area, so that you got a number of tiles, so that the one cost, tile cost, so that that total cost of the tiles required. And similarly the motor is going to be placed at the bottom, and the bonding is also going to be framed, so that cost also going to be included. That means the flooring you want to estimate it, and cost of the material of tiles, and plus motor, cost of the motor plus cost of the labor to install on it. So that next, coming to that next item is in a doors, and then windows. So doors and windows, you see the doors and windows, you need to observe the plan first, and then after what is happened, we need to identify the types of doors are existed. For example, if you see any plans, there is a D1, D2, D3, and likewise there is a doors are there. I will give an example. So if you see that the main door is different, so that is comes under D1, and the bedroom door and main door is not similar, so that it comes under D2, and bedroom door and bathroom door is different, so that sizes are different, and then it comes under D3. So that I want to identify, or anybody want to identify, then how many types of doors are there in the plan, and then we need to identify what are the number of the doors is there in the plan, so that what is the cost of the door and what is the cost of the window, so that individually. So for example, cost of the door, if it is in a 1 lakh to 2 lakh, it's based on the material. Maybe teak, if it is there in that, it is based on the material. Likewise, if it is a normal one, it is in around 6,000 to 8,000, that is in a cost of the one main door. Likewise, it's based on the design and their choice, they may opted these types of doors and materials. So that main doors, how many main doors are there, multiply with the cost of one door, so that you got a total cost of the doors and windows, like that. And if you see that after the doors and windows, and here yeah, the next item we see here, the next item is there is a planning, plastering and sanitary works. So in this plastering and sanitary works, it's in a plumbing and sanitary works. So in the plumbing and sanitary works, there is a pipes are there, water points are there. So then if you see that next one is an electrical works, there is a pipes and lights are there, lighting points are there, how many points are there, we just look at the points and all those things, then we'll go for installation of each point cost. Likewise, there is an HVAC conditions are there, like heating, ventilation and air conditioning. So likewise, we are going for what are the things are existed in the room, we are going to be identify everything, and we are going for a cost of individual things. And then finally what is happen, exterior works. So in this exterior works, there is a designing is there. So likewise, nowadays what is happen, there is an aluminum sheets are is going to be, ACP sheets are is going to be placed for to get the elevations. Likewise, based on the material or based on the concrete, we are providing the exterior design, and similarly there is an interior design. If you see that miscellaneous, there is an staircases and elevators, and there is an signage, and then these are the major items of the building. If you see that what is the first one, there is a site preparation. After site preparation, there is a foundation work. After foundation work, there is a superstructure, and after superstructure, masonry work. After masonry work, there is a flooring works, and then after flooring works, there is a roofing works, and after roofing works, there is an interior exterior design, and next one is in a plumbing and sanitary works and electrical works, and finally there is in a HVAC works, and finally electrical works and miscellaneous works. And if you see that the next one is an a, I want to explain one by one with a numerical example. So if you see that here, if you see here the cost estimation for the site work, actually we are specifying the area of the site that is equal to 100 cubic meters. So in that the rate is given, so that if you see that rate per cubic meter is equal to 1230. So that if you want to estimate the cost, so that 100 cubic meters multiply with the 1230, then you got approximately the cost around 1 lakh 23,000. 1 lakh 23,000 cost is needed to prepare the site. So actually you may got a doubt, sir, how this rate is going to be taken. So maybe actually how we are going to be get the area. So maybe 100 cubic meters they are specified. So here by measuring all those things to back up to backfill everything, we are estimating physically we are estimated, so that you got a quantity and outside. And then coming to the rate, if you observe that rate schedule analysis by the Telangana government, or otherwise if you work on with another states, so that we are going to be take the rate schedule analysis is released by the other government. For example, nearer Andhra Pradesh is there, so that Andhra Pradesh rate schedule analysis we are going to be taken. When we are going to be take other states rate schedule analysis, you are going to be work on the other states, so that we are going to be take that rate schedule analysis of the other states. But you are working in the Telangana, then we are going to be take the rate schedule analysis for the Telangana state itself, so that this is going to be helpful even if you want to prepare the contract, or maybe if you want to prepare any tender like that. If you see that the next one is in a foundation work, and already I told that how the foundation work is going to be estimated, how the foundation work is going to be estimated. And here you see here, yeah, you see here there is an S1 is in a foundation work. Here the quantity, the foundation quantity they are going to be calculated. The foundation quantity they are going to be calculated. How they are going to be calculating this foundation quantity? Because if you see the cross section and the plan, and then you can calculate the get the dimensions. From the dimension LBH, you are getting the quantity of the concrete is required for the foundation. So that in this problem they may specify 50 cubic meters of the concrete, and then the rate for also is given, that is equal to 9,840 rupees is in a 1 cubic meter. So that what is the cost of concrete is for footing works, that is equal to 50 into 9,840, you may got the 4 lakhs 92,000 rupees are needed to manufacturing. This is including RCC, not excluding RCC reinforcement. So if you want to calculate PCC separately or RCC, because RCC means it containing the PCC and steel, and now we are going to be calculating separately. And then finally what is happened, we are calculating the quantity of the reinforcement separately and cost of it separately, and then we are calculating the cost of the PCC separately and cost of the quantity separately. Likewise we are going for a cost estimation if the total quantity is not given, or otherwise the total quantity is in a it's not an PCC, okay, it's an RCC. Directly the value is given. If it is in a PCC, that what is PCC, it's in a RC, you take the RCC containing the PCC plus reinforcement, then we are calculating the everything. But while you are calculating the quantity of PCC, just we need to deducting the quantity of the steel reinforcement, and then for that only we need to calculate the cost, or otherwise if you not deducting here, it may lead to overestimate. And if you see there is a next one is in a superstructure. In the superstructure, if you see that there is an example is given, the quantity is equal to 20 columns are is given, and concrete volume for column is also specified 0.5 cubic meters, and rate is also given, that is equal to 9,840 rupees is in a cost of the 1 cubic meter concrete. So that how can we calculate that 20 columns are given, therefore 20 into 0.5, there is a 10 cubic meters of the concrete is needed, and then after finally you can multiply with the 10 into 9,840, so that you got an a, so there is an a 19, okay, 196800 rupees of the cost is going to be takes place. So therefore similarly here there is a bricks also going to be calculated sometime in the superstructure. So walls are there, so if the walls are there, for example there is a brick masonry you want to construct it, in the brick masonry you want to construct it, you just calculate the volume of the bricks, then one brick volume divided by total volume divided by one brick volume, you got a number of bricks. So from that what is happen, we are calculating the cost of the one brick, and then you are calculating the total cost of the bricks is required for the superstructure. Likewise you got a generally the variation, for example for 1 cubic meter of the 1 cubic meter there is a 500 number of the bricks are needed, clay bricks are needed, so that cost around 10 rupees, so that it is equal to 5,000 rupees are needed for 1 cubic meter of brickwork. So if it is only material, and also this brickwork is containing the mortar in between that to make a bond, so that here also we are going to be calculate the mortar is required to make a bond between that, and mortar cost, and then labor cost is going to be included in the total cost. And thank you, that remaining portion is going to be explained in the class. Thank you.